Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to be talking about Cyberpunk 2077. So yesterday, CDPR replaced the old image, the Cyberpunk 2077 updates roadmap on our commitment article they actually released a while ago. They updated it with a new image to reflect what they had done so far and what they actually want to do for the future. Now, one of the funny things is that they basically just moved the updates, improvements, and free DLCs into the first quarter of 2021. Meanwhile, before that, we can see that what they had, the patches and hotfixes going from patch 1.1 to 1.2, 1.3, and the latest was actually patch or hotfix or whatever you want to call it, 1.3.1. Now, people have asked me if we're going to see another update before the end of the year. Now, before this updated roadmap actually came out, I would say yeah, but if we look at this roadmap, if we look at the patch and the placement of this patch over here, it definitely tells us that we might not see a Cyberpunk update or a patch until the first quarter of 2022. So the patches we got so far are going to be the patches we get so far. Now, I could be wrong and they release another update until the end of the year, but going from this, I don't think that's going to be the case. Because this also goes hand in hand with what they said with Cyberpunk Next Gen Edition, because they actually postponed it to the first quarter of 2022. So honestly, here we see updates, improvements, and free DLCs. By free DLCs, I don't expect anything huge. It might be just small pieces of content. Like you saw, the first DLCs were actually a jacket, a new vehicle, and also the alternative look for Johnny Silverhand. So when it comes to that, I wouldn't expect anything huge from free DLCs. It wasn't also huge in The Witcher. Now, they also mentioned updates here, so obviously they still have things to work on, they still have things to worry about. The game is still, not performing as it should, especially if you look at the consoles and all of that. Hopefully that gets sorted out. Now, people also ask me about improvements and what those improvements could mean, because automatically people assume when they said improvements that this is going to be like, let's say, features and everything that people were talking about on Reddit or something like that in the comments. Now, improvements can be just small things. They don't necessarily have to be big things. So when someone writes improvements, it can be basically anything, just improvement to whatever, just small things in the game. It does not necessarily reflect huge changes. Now, is CDPR going to make those huge changes? I don't know. So far, we didn't have any concrete information on what improvements and updates are going to bring. Obviously, one of the biggest things is patching and solving the bugs and issues on that scale. If they're ever going to be able to make Cyberpunk run as it should on previous next-gen consoles, that's never going to happen, because obviously with the limitation of those consoles and obviously with CDPR releasing a game which, let's face it, cannot properly run on last gen, because the game is just too hungry for memory, it's too hungry for CPU, GPU, whatever. So when you try to run that, and you try to run that also on a hard drive on a last gen console, that doesn't work well. So that was a big misstep from CDPR to even release the game on last gen, and that's just the limitations of that hardware, and also limitations that should have been taken into account. But nevertheless, what done has been done now, and we'll see what else can be improved. But honestly, when it comes to this roadmap, I don't think we're getting any patches and updates until the first quarter of 2022, or at least January. That might be the case, but we'll see. Hopefully this time is used to bring a substantial update. Is that going to happen, especially now because a lot of people are also going on vacations, especially November, December dates are, people are going back to their families, they're going to be celebrating. That's okay. Obviously the developers earned it, they have to be with their families, and we shall see later on what happens. Hopefully the management got a hold of themselves and they actually want to improve this, because the updates and what they release is going to tell us if they had improved or not. But yeah, honestly, I wouldn't expect any updates until the first quarter of 2022. So yeah, tell me down below in the comments, what do you think about this? Are you Are you happy, excited? Are you disappointed? Just tell me down below what you expect from them and what you expect from the next gen update, because let's face it, the next gen update has to be running well. They can't repeat the same mistake with the release of Cyberpunk on, the vanilla experience. So the next gen edition has to flow well. If it doesn't, they're just going to end up being in even more trouble. So we'll see how that happens, and hopefully they take it seriously. So yeah, this is LKM signing out. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me down below again in comments, what do you think about this? Are you happy, disappointed? Just, voice your opinion down below and just stay civil, and that's about it. Also, huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for your continued support, and thank you everyone for your continued support, for watching my videos and liking them and subscribing. It really means a lot. Much love to the community, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.